And Archie Manning fires, and he's got it complete.
In the routine.
Archie Manning.
The Manning name carries weight in football. Archie, Peyton, Eli, and now Arch. A dynasty built on arm strength, championships, and generational influence. But this week, a single comment from the family patriarch sent shockwaves through the football world. Archie Manning told the media that his grandson wouldn't declare for the 2026 NFL Draft. Bold. Definitive. Almost like the future was already written. But here's the twist: Arch himself had other ideas. With one calm response, he flipped the narrative on its head. Suddenly, the story wasn't about Archie Manning's word. It was about Arch Manning's independence. So the question is clear. Is Arch Manning finally ready to take full control of his own legacy? Or will outside voices, even those closest to him, still shape his future? To understand why this moment matters, you have to understand who Arch Manning is and what he represents. Arch isn't just another quarterback at Texas. He's the latest chapter in one of football's most legendary families. His grandfather, Archie Manning, was a Pro Bowl quarterback in the NFL. His uncles? Peyton and Eli Manning, both Super Bowl MVPs, both Hall of Fame icons. From the moment Arch first picked up a football, the spotlight was on him. By high school, he was already being called the most hyped quarterback recruit of his generation. Scouts said he had the poise of Peyton, the swagger of Eli, and maybe, just maybe, the potential to surpass them both. When Arch chose Texas, it was a seismic shift in college football. He could have gone anywhere: Alabama, Georgia, you name it. But he picked the Longhorns, a program looking to return to national prominence. And in his first real season as the starter, Arch delivered precision throws, big game poise, and a team that suddenly looked like a contender again. Now, here's why his draft timeline is so important. NFL scouts already project Arch Manning as a future top 5 pick. Some even believe he could be the #1 overall selection whenever he declares. His decision on when to enter the draft doesn't just affect him, it reshapes the NFL, the draft order, and the future of multiple franchises. So when Archie Manning spoke up, saying Arch wouldn't declare for the 2026 draft, the football world stopped and listened. But what came next proved that Arch's path is his own. Archie Manning has always been more than just a grandfather. He's the patriarch of football's first family. When Archie speaks, people listen. And last week, his words made headlines across the sports world. In an interview with Texas Monthly, Archie suggested that Arch would not declare for the 2026 NFL Draft. He implied that his grandson would stay at Texas, continue developing, and hold off on going pro. It sounded decisive, as if the Manning family had already mapped out the future. And for fans of Texas, it felt like a gift. Imagine 2, maybe even 3 more years of Arch Manning in burnt orange. More chances at Big 12 dominance. More chances at a national championship run. But for NFL scouts and draft analysts, Archie's words landed like a thunderclap. Teams already projecting draft boards into 2026 suddenly had to rethink their plans. Was Arch Manning really off the table? Was the most hyped quarterback of a generation going to delay his entry into the league? The reaction was immediate. Headlines called it breaking news. Talk shows debated it endlessly. Social media split into 2 camps. One side thrilled at the thought of Arch staying in college, the other questioning whether this was just spin. But here's the catch: Archie Manning may carry influence, but he doesn't make the decision. And within days, Arch himself made that crystal clear. And then came Arch's response. Calm, collected, but powerful enough to change the entire conversation. When asked about his grandfather's comments, Arch didn't dodge, didn't play coy. He looked straight ahead and said, "Yeah, I don't know where he got that from. He texted me to apologize about that. I'm really just taking it day by day right now. That one line said it all. This wasn't Archie Manning's decision. This wasn't a family decree. This was Arch drawing the line respectfully, but firmly. The tone mattered. He wasn't angry. He wasn't dismissive. He was clear. His future is his call. Not his grandfather's, not the media's, not even the NFL's. And in that moment, Arch Manning did something no scout or analyst could measure. He showed maturity. He showed independence. He showed that he's not just the next Manning quarterback, he's Arch Manning, carving out his own legacy. For Texas fans, it was reassurance. Arch isn't distracted. He's locked in on the present. For NFL fans, it was intrigue. When he does decide, it'll be because he's ready, not because of family pressure. And just like that, the story shifted from a grandfather predicting the future to a grandson taking ownership of it. The media storm that followed was immediate and relentless. Reuters was quick to report Arch's response, framing it as a moment of clarity. Their headline read, "Arch Manning says grandfather Archie apologized for NFL draft comments." Straightforward, to the point. And it underscored the key takeaway. Even Archie knew he had spoken out of turn. Sports Illustrated went a step further. They emphasized Archie's mindset, calling attention to his calm dismissal of the rumor and his commitment to taking things day by day. In other words, Arch is in no rush, and the decision is still wide open. Meanwhile, the Austin American Statesman, Arch's local beat in Texas, painted a more personal picture. Their reporting highlighted not just the quote, but the way Arch delivered it, measured, steady, and in total control of his narrative. And of course, talk shows and debate tables jumped on the story. ESPN's panels questioned whether Archie had simply spoken too soon, or whether his comments revealed private family discussions. Fox Sports personalities speculated if this was an intentional smokescreen to take pressure off Arch during the season. The media consensus was clear. Arch Manning had asserted himself. The future wasn't decided, and that in itself became the headline. If the media response was fast, the fan reaction was explosive. Within minutes of Arch's quote hitting the internet, Twitter and Reddit lit up. Memes started pouring in. One showed Arch texting his grandpa, "Chill, Gramps." Another turned Archie's face into a press conference backdrop with the caption, "Spokesman for Arch, Inc." On Reddit, the debate raged. One Longhorns fan wrote, "Good. Let him take his time, we might get Arch for 3 full years." Another fired back, "No way. He's too good. He'll be gone the second he's draft eligible." And then came the NFL fans. Some were already posting graphics of the 2026 draft order, speculating which team might tank for Arch. Others joked that half the league's general managers were suddenly rewriting their scouting reports. But it wasn't all jokes. There was a deeper undercurrent in the conversation: respect. Fans admired the way Arch handled it. Calm, cool, no drama, just focus. Many pointed out that this was the first real glimpse of Arch stepping out from under the Manning shadow. And for Texas fans, the idea that Archie's words might mean another year or two of Arch in burnt orange had them buzzing. Whether it was excitement, skepticism, or just pure internet chaos, one thing was clear: Arch Manning had become the biggest conversation in football that week. So what does all of this mean for Arch Manning's career? The answer: a lot. First, the Heisman. Arch enters this season as one of the top contenders. Every game, every throw, every win is a chance to build his case as not just the best quarterback in college football, but the best player. If he dominates, staying another year could make him the face of the sport, just like Peyton once was at Tennessee. Then there's Texas. The Longhorns are no longer rebuilding. They're contenders. Arch's presence keeps them in the playoff hunt, maybe even the national championship conversation. His decision to stay or go could define the program's future for years. But here's where the stakes get even higher: the NFL draft. If Arch declares in 2026, he's instantly a top 5 pick. Some scouts say he could be the No. 1 overall. If he waits until 2027, he could headline that class instead, entering with even more polish and experience. Either way, teams are watching his every move. And don't forget NIL: name, image, likeness. Arch is already one of the most marketable players in college sports. By staying in college, he keeps cashing in on endorsements, sponsorships, and brand deals, money that earlier generations of Mannings never had access to. But staying also comes with risk. One bad injury, one rough season, and that draft stock could take a hit. So Arch stands at a crossroads: declare early, secure generational NFL money. Or stay, build the Manning legacy at Texas, and keep stacking Heisman campaigns and NIL deals. It's a high-stakes decision, and it's why every word he says carries so much weight. Arch Manning isn't the first quarterback to face this kind of decision, and history gives us plenty of examples. Take Peyton Manning. Back in 1997, he shocked the NFL world by returning to Tennessee for his senior year instead of declaring for the draft. The reward? Another Heisman-caliber season, a higher draft slot, and eventually, a Hall of Fame career. Then there's Eli Manning. He declared early, but his draft day became legendary, refusing to play for the Chargers, forcing a trade to the Giants, and winning 2 Super Bowls. It was a reminder that sometimes the quarterback calls the shots, not the franchises. Other examples paint a different picture. Andrew Luck stayed an extra year at Stanford, and while he still went No. 1 overall, the physical toll of college ball delayed his NFL career. Matt Leinart did the same at USC, passing up a likely No. 1 pick in 2005, only to slide in 2006 and struggle as a pro. And then there's Tim Tebow, a superstar in college, who stayed long enough to cement his legacy, but entered the league with questions that NFL scouts never stopped asking. The lesson? There's no perfect path. Some quarterbacks gained from staying, others lost millions. But every decision shaped their careers and their legacies. Arch Manning is standing at that same crossroads, and the comparisons to Peyton and Eli make his choice even more fascinating. Does he follow Peyton's patience, Eli's boldness, or does he carve a new path altogether? This story isn't just about one quarterback's decision. It's about the ripple effect across college football, the NFL, and the Manning legacy itself. For Texas, Arch Manning represents more than just wins and touchdowns. He's the face of a program trying to reclaim national dominance. Every year he stays, the Longhorns gain credibility, recruits flock to Austin, and the path to a national championship becomes that much more realistic. For the Manning family, this is another chapter in a dynasty. Archie paved the way. Peyton and Eli cemented the name in NFL history, and Arch. He's tasked with carrying it into a new generation. But unlike those before him, Arch has the modern pressures of NIL deals, social media, and constant media speculation. His every move is dissected in real time. And for the NFL, the league is already watching closely. General managers are sketching out scenarios, mock drafts are being reshuffled, and franchises desperate for a quarterback are eyeing the calendar. If Arch declares in 2026, it could change the entire draft order. If he waits, it reshapes 2027. Either way, the NFL's future is tied to Arch's decision. This is bigger than one player, one season, or one draft. This is about how a single name Manning continues to shape the sport at every level. So here's where we stand. Archie Manning made a bold claim that his grandson wouldn't declare for the 2026 NFL draft. The media ran with it, fans debated it, and for a moment, the future felt decided. But Arch Manning had the last word. With one calm response, "I don't know where he got that from. I'm just taking it day by day," he shifted the entire narrative. No more speculation from others. No more decisions made on his behalf. Arch Manning's future belongs to Arch Manning. And that leaves us with the question everyone is asking. Will he follow Peyton's path and stay in college longer? Will he shock the world and declare early? Or will he carve out an entirely new chapter in the Manning story? One thing is certain, whatever Arch decides will reshape not just his legacy, but the future of Texas football and the NFL itself. So what do you think? Should Arch Manning stay another year in burnt orange, or should he make the leap in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive stories that the sports world can't stop talking about.